Very much to Tim Della for excellent commentary as we now look forward to this heat of the Double Sculls Challenge Cup. Avignon, Grenoble and Alemannia Amsterdam Studenten Rhône School. I don't know why Turlan has got together with Rustenburg for France and Netherlands. I must ask them, it's a fascinating combination. And on this side, it's the British lightweight men's double, prospective British lightweight men's double, of Dale Flockhart and Jamie Copus, who look to have got a great start, Adrian.
They do, they're very neat, aren't they? They've been doing quite a lot of racing in this combination, being quite successful with it. But really aggressive, flat with their blades, and yeah, doing a great job here and going quite straight. And you can see here, really well together, aren't they? Both using their legs at the very beginning of the stroke to generate the boat speed.
Yeah, a lot of people think rowing's all in the arms, but that's a great shot that shows you just how much you're using your lower body, your legs and your lower back to power the boat forward. Jamie Copus, closest to us, the 29-year-old in the stroke seat of this British double. The French and Dutch combination just coming a little back into it. Maybe they were surprised by that start. I'd say they've got a longer stroke than the British, who've got a higher rate of striking. I mean, what's the difference between those two techniques?
Yeah, I would agree. The lightweights are really trying to do it by getting, because they're less powerful, they're going to have to take a couple more strokes a minute just to try and keep the boat speed up and running. And here we see the blade work, the French and Dutch composite here. Bigger guys, and just, like you said, Martin, just longer and more sort of steady and rhythmical in a more traditional sense. We'll see how that pans out, because the lightweight double from Flockhart and Copus are not going to roll over. No,
they're not. It's really interesting when you see these Dutch rowers. They come to a regatta like Henley, and you know, Wibbo Rustenburg has been rowing just with one blade. We've got the graphics there, 36 strokes a minute, that higher rate of striking for the French, 16.2 k an hour, decent speed for a double scull. And the Flockhart and Copus, slightly higher kilometres an hour, maybe having a little push there, 36 strokes a minute. They both set at the same rate, but the French on the far side coming to the barrier about a couple of minutes into the race look to have a little canvas lead, or deck lead as the Americans would say.
Yeah, and traditionally you'd expect the heavyweight double to lead the first minute or two, and then the lightweights just to be tenacious and stay there. But the lightweight guys here obviously decided we're not going to stick to that, we're going to get into it. We'll see if that's been too expensive, but the heavyweight guys can just now settle into their rhythm and just start to move away. But here, Flockhart and Copus really together, aren't they? Really together where they're sculling.
Yeah, Flockhart wearing the colours of Edinburgh University. He's doing he's a master's student there. Spent a year as a heavyweight last year and decided to come back down to lightweight with the prospect of the Olympics Paris 2024 in mind. Probably a good move for him in this double with Jamie Copus. Talking about the double on the left-hand side of your picture, the French-Netherlands combination on the right just have a slight lead.
So what do you think about that, Martin? You know, there's not many opportunities. These guys are friends. There aren't many high-class races where they can row together being from different countries, are there?
No, they're not. And we did have an example in Poznan in World Cup of an Estonian and German combination that were allowed special privilege to row in a double scull together.
And we also had Tufte and Istok
yeah,
also in Blair, didn't they?
The double scull is the boat where mates come together, isn't it?
I think some of that comes from the single scullers. They become friends in the singles, so then sometimes they like to train together and then they develop these relationships.
Guillaume Turlan, bowman in the French boat on your right of the screen, 24 years of age, trains in Nancy, was in the pair with his brother last year in the Olympics. I think they finished 9th if memory serves.
Yeah, they were 9th, yeah. So coming from a pair, so both of them were sweep athletes coming into a sculling boat. Doesn't seem to have done them any harm, does it?
You're kind of envious of people with that skill, aren't you? I mean, I think moving a double well is really an art more than it is a science. You know, some doubles combinations just go. I remember Peter Haining trying to get into a double combination. You know, the successful lightweight men's single sculler. He had such a unique sculling style. He could never find anyone to move a double with him.
Yeah, it is, and despite it being this, the boat is exactly the same as the actual vessel, is the same as the coxswain's pair. But when you're getting the double, because it goes faster, it just moves completely differently in the water. It bounces a bit more, so you really have to time it in a completely different way than in a coxswain's pair. And here, Copus and Flockhart really are not let off, have they? There's still a little bit of clear water, and they need to make sure that doesn't grow. But the double on the far side will know that they are still there.
Yeah, Jamie Copus is battling through. It's been interesting, you know, just asking about if these boats are steered by a rudder like the pairs, Adrian.
I know, because in the pairs, because you've got one on either side, usually you have a rudder to help you correct any problems here. But here, they'll just use the pressures in their legs and their arms to balance it out. But it looks here like Flockhart and Copus are going a bit quicker and trying to get back on terms with Turlan and Rustenburg.
They've battled all the way down this course. They don't know what they've got to pull out. Jamie Copus, a 29-year-old, tried to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics in a double with Sam Mottram. Couldn't quite make it through the final Olympic qualification regatta. There's a look from both of them. How much motivation do these athletes need with that look, Adrian?
I think now they're just deciding how far away are we, how far is it, at what point do we have to just push the button and just decide everything has to go in. I think they've decided now is the moment that they have to go. And this is the world-class athletes. They know it's a 2K race, but the moment to go isn't always just the last 100 for the glory.
They need that motivation because they're pushing so hard. Both Dale Flockhart and Jamie Copus looking over their shoulders.
There we go. That's a change. Now the stroke rate's just gone up and they're really attacking it.
Dale Flockhart looking across. He's not making a call yet.
You can't look too often though, can you? Because then you start disrupting the rhythm.
Yeah, do you remember the Italians in that 2017 World Championships in Sarasota racing the Croatians? They just rode them down. And the guy at stroke was looking, Vicino was looking every single stroke. It was amazing. And you say never look out the boat. So it's the French on the French-Dutch combination on the right-hand side, still holding a narrow lead.
They look like they're going to win this, but it's not going to be easy. They're not going to be able to be composed about this. They're going to have to stay with their foot down in order to keep this lightweight double from getting back to them. You can still see from here, Copus and Flockhart, they're really attacking this double, and that's a change there from the Dutch and the French. They've just pushed the rating up to really make sure they deal with this other crew. Yeah,
they're going right to the death, both these doubles, aren't they? They will have known they've been in a race as they come past the enclosures. Applause.
Great sculling here.
Yeah, applause for the French. Applause, French and Dutch, I should say. Applause for the British, who are really racing their line. Look at what Copus and Flockhart are doing now. They're charging for the line. I think it's going to be too late. There's the French and Dutch combination just coming up to the finish. Turlan and Rustenburg will win this heat of the Double Sculls Challenge Cup. Decent race against Dale Flockhart and Jamie Copus from Great Britain.